Hello everybody, welcome back to the Yocho Tech Tracks YouTube channel. You're joining me on the first update on this trip from Toronto to Alberta. We're taking the family this time. Pretty much everybody's here, myself, my wife and 2 kids. They are playing in the water. This is just a truck stop. There's a little beach a little bit further down the road. We just came here because it's easier to make a little video for you guys. Too much noise on the road. So just to catch you guys up on what's happening, we've gone so far more or less 2,000 kilometers from home. A couple of times we gassed up. The truck is doing great, no problems, no hiccups at all. I'm just here checking the oil. Everything seems to be full. Coolant, oil, transmission fluid, everything. No leaks, no drips, no check engine lights, no codes, so everything is running flawlessly. The tires are inflated on the truck, 50 psi on the front, 50 psi on the rear, and the trailer as well has 50 psi in them. Those are maximum 50 pounds per square inch. They're inflated to max. These tires take exactly 65 pounds per square inch maximum, but 50 psi front and rear seems to be very good. The only thing I've noticed on the truck since the suspension lift, which you guys can check out in the previous videos, the sway bar end links. These rubber bushings don't seem to be very good quality. They've been on the truck for, I say, roughly 2,000 to 2,500 kilometers, and you guys can see how much it's deteriorated. It's cracked. I bet you if I take them off, they're going to be split easily in half, so I'm going to replace those. They look like this on both sides, but part stores, even Amazon, should have these for very cheap. Everything else seems to be okay, nice and tight. I've lubricated the upper control arms pivots before we left, greased them up. Everything else, there's no noise, no vibration. The alignment seems to be very good. Against these tires, if you guys can see, they have about 25,000 kilometers on them. I bought them brand new, and roughly that's how much kilometers they have on them. All 4 of them are wearing very nicely, evenly. Again, from previous videos about tire rotation, I do have a 5th wheel here, a 5th full-size spare. That's mounted right here, and that does get rotated. So what you see on the tread is roughly 25,000 kilometers of wear on all of them. No problems under the hood. I don't expect any. The truck, again, very low mileage. And the 4th one. The spare tire is pretty much exactly the same. No problems there. I've never weighed the trailer, but it cannot weigh more than a couple of thousand pounds. It's not heavy at all. However, I'm still towing with this truck in 4th gear. The 65 RFE 6-speed automatic transmission in this truck is 4th gear 1-to-1 direct drive. It has 3 underdrives, 1st, 2nd and 3rd gear. 4th gear is 1-to-1, and it has 2 overdrives, 5th and 6th. I usually don't tow in overdrive regardless of the load. It just puts a lot of strain and load on the engine as well as the transmission, and every time you hit a hill, it's going to be downshifting. No matter what vehicle you have, it's really never advised to tow in any of the overdrive gears. So far, transmission temperatures have varied. However, outside temperatures do influence that. For example, today it's 30 degrees Celsius on the highway, 4th gear, 1-to-1 direct drive. It's running around 2,200 RPM at around 95 to 100 kilometers per hour. And the transmission temperatures haven't gone over 75, 76 Celsius, constantly maintained when it's locked up and cruising steady. Everything else seems to be normal. Engine oil temperatures are just over 100 degrees Celsius. Coolant temperatures are just below 100 degrees Celsius. Oil pressure driving at that speed on the highway is 50 psi, which is perfect. Engine is very healthy. The truck is pulling very nicely, straight down the road, and no issues whatsoever. Once again, to catch you guys up on the suspension lift, this has roughly 4.8 inches of lift in the front and 3.5 inches in the rear. And in the rear I also have airbags, Firestone, I believe they are right. They go right into the coil spring of the rear suspension, if you guys can see. Excuse the video or the quality. I didn't take my GoPro on this trip. I should have, but I didn't. And this is just an iPhone. Let me show you the airbag pressure. The top is the pressure for the airbag. it is roughly at 30 psi, and the main tank pressure is roughly at 55-60 psi. So it's regulated down to 30. These airbags, I believe, they are the heavy duty ones. They can take up to 60 psi, so I'm just loading them at half inflation pressure, and it gives plenty of support for the truck. So what you guys see is a half-ton truck with a 3.5-inch lift and airbags at 30 psi. So there's this good maybe 8 to 10 inches between the tire and the wheel well. The same goes in the front. The truck is nice and level. When there's no load at the back, it is a little bit higher, which is exactly what I would like. Slight rake to the rear, but again, depending on the load, it's going to push it down, and that's what the airbags are for, to level it out. I am using a weight distribution hitch, not that this vehicle needs it with this trailer setup. However, since I had it already, it doesn't hurt. It also has sway control in it. It's built in for sway control. Right now, on the angle that we're at, these bars are not loaded. And I do have this Reese friction sway control. This also helps the vehicle maintain a nice and steady directional stability down the road to prevent sway and make it a nice, comfortable, easy, trouble-free towing down the road. One mishap we had was with one of the axles on the trailer. I will go into further detail down the road if I have chance. If not, back at home, I'll make that into a separate video for you guys. It's not a big deal. I managed to fix it in 15-20 minutes, but it was an issue, and hopefully it doesn't happen again. The trailer is holding up just fine. We've gone through all kinds of weather so far in the last couple of days. Rain, cold, hot, humid. So far the camper is holding up just fine. Right now the solar panel is charging everything. We have excess voltage in the batteries, so the fridges are very happy. All the other accessories are working just fine off the 12-volt system. And when we do get to the campsites, we do run shore power, which actually charges the batteries. So even if there's no sun, usually we park in the shade because my wife doesn't like too much heat. So the solar panels over there don't contribute, but because we can plug in, the battery charger charges everything. And because the truck is connected with the 7-pin connector to the trailer, as soon as we plug the battery charger in, it's charging everything. The 2 batteries in the camper and the auxiliary battery. Again, from previous videos, guys, I've mounted it right here, away from engine heat. It is right under there. I have another cranking battery on one side and a marine grade battery on the other side. So everything is working just fine. I hope you guys like this update. I'm going to end the video right here. This was just a very quick, short update on the side of the road while the family's having a little bit of fun. And we're off to another provincial park. I'll give you guys another update over there, I'm sure, depending on weather conditions. But so far, it's holding up. We haven't had too much rain, but it does come and go. So I'll see you guys next time on the Yotso Tech Tracks YouTube channel. Thank you for watching, and thank you for tuning in. More updates coming up, good and bad, regarding this trip and future adventures and camping, overlanding vehicle setups. So I hope you guys like these videos. I'll keep them coming as much as I can in the future. So see you next time. Take care. Thank you. Stay safe and goodbye.